Howdy everyone, Nimby here, another motovlog on the way home from work. It's an absolutely beautiful December day right before solstice. I got 3 more days, December 19th. Oh, I'm glad I got 4 days off. That was a long week. Hey, Berlin! Oh yeah, unfortunately lost the chicken last night. That was one of my better layers. Down to one hen that lays brown eggs now, the rest of them are blue. They were one of the original chickens that my kids hatched, which is cool. We're trying to teach them about, you know, the whole food circle, where food comes from, how much work it is to get and procure actual food, like other than just going to the grocery store and buying it with money. Trying to get them, you know, their heads wrapped around what it actually takes to provide some food that you can eat. And that isn't necessarily an easy thing to do when you're talking about kids that are from 2 to 10, but we've been doing it for a while. We grow our own garden. At one point we were growing about 75% of all of our own food. Luckily, we live in a very fertile river basin. Actually, the apples that used to grow in the field, tomatoes actually in the field I'm driving through right now, it used to be a tomato field. And the tomatoes that grew here and the apples that grew just north of where I'm going, basically where the houses are, that was all apple orchard. These were called Fruitlands. This was actually the name of this area before it became Brocklehurst, or Brock as it's commonly called. Fruitlands was actually separate from the city that I'm living in, and it was its own amalgamation of basically a corporate land, and you lived on the land, and in order to pay for your rent, you did that through labor at the fruit orchards. And some of the tomatoes and apples that were produced here were world class. They would actually in the 1900s ship them all around the world as high grade sought after apples, and they are actually just awesome. And speckled throughout this area in our backyard is one of them, the original apple trees from the orchards. There are still a number of them. We do get hard winters every once in a while that kills them off, and that's kind of the only thing that really kills them. Eventually you get a hard winter, or a soft winter like we have right now, and then a hard winter, and what happens is the sap will come up from the roots, and the trunk and the branches will start to swell with sap, thinking it's spring too early basically, and then you'll get a hard winter, or a hard cold snap of like minus 15 to minus 30, somewhere in there. It's got to be pretty cold, and that'll freeze the tree right through to the trunk, and they'll literally just crack and bust like someone put a stick of dynamite in them. They'll just literally kind of explode from just like a water pipe would, from all the sap freezing. And they also grew a lot of hops here. We've got a hops plant in the front yard, pretty close to where I park Fluff Butt, just to try it out. And yeah, this used to be one of the largest hops farms in Canada back in the day at that time, in 1910 to about 1930. They had huge, massive things of hops. I'll see if I can dig up some old pictures. But hops plants grow kind of like grapevines, just very high, very tall, to get the most out of the hops plants. And they have these really cool harvesters to harvest them. So yeah, this whole area used to be orchards before it became houses. There's some old trees here actually. If you're looking along here, some of these older apple trees are going to be some of the original apple trees from the orchards around here that were just basically kept as the houses got plopped in between them. You'll know them because the trunks will be, you know, a good 2 to 3 times as thick as any of the other apple trees around here. But anyway, yeah, we grow our own fruit. We have fruit trees, and since this area is well known for its fruit, and almost every house in this area has fruit trees in it, whether or not those people use them or not, it's almost impossible to not find free fruit here in its harvest time. You just simply put an ad out saying you're looking to pick free fruit, and you'll get as much as you could possibly can or process. There's always options for free fruit around. Oh, there's my oldest getting his papers going. Good job, buddy. But yeah, we try and teach them where the food comes from so they know how much effort actually goes into an apple or an orange, and that it's not just picking it off a tree. Hey, bud. I think that's important. So find something awesome about your day like that. Food is awesome, and procuring your own food is even more so awesome. And share it with somebody. Have a good one, guys. Thanks, Kylie. Hey, bud. Yeah, I get this section done here, and when you come back, I'll have it ready. Alright? Yeah, this is, well, it's wintered now, but this is what a hops plant looks like. And you harvest all the hops bits from here.